We know the welfare bill is so big, 26 billion quid and counting. And I would say only reasonable that once in a while a government takes a look at that.
I think that's right. And I think that what we need to understand as well, Ian, is that, and good afternoon to you, by the way, that what we need to understand is there is a constant review going on. It's not a case of as soon as you're given a disability benefit or any other kind of benefit, you never then have to actually, I hate to use the word prove, but at some point actually, yes, prove that you are still eligible for it. And we know that this is going to cause distress to some people. But as you say, as a society, as a caring society, how do we check that the funds are not being misused? And it's that balance that's there. I think it's a very interesting debate, and it was the first time when I saw this, and I thought, ooh, that's brave for a Tory politician, just a few months away from a general election, to come out with something where 50% of the media are going to scream, here we are again, cruel Tories,
wicked
they hate
Tories,
disabled people, etc., etc. So putting that aside, what I hope for, particularly for my profession, is that can we have an adult conversation about this? Can we have that conversation about this? Because that's part of not frightening the people that are the subject of this, those that are on disability benefits. Many of them, of course, as we know, and the government's saying about 1 million, will not be affected by this because they cannot adapt even to working from home. Let's not frighten them into thinking that someone's going to knock on the door and take away their benefit from them. That the whole process is flawed. Let's have a sensible adult conversation.
And I thought, Ian, to be honest, Ian, I thought that Mel Stride actually was rather dignified and decent in the way that he's articulated this. I didn't get any sense of, we are going to try and winkle out the work shy and take away their... There was none of that business.
No, there isn't. And look, part of this is we have to accept that the whole culture now has changed with work from home. Now, I know there's areas of it where we say, hang on a second, that's gone too far. Lots of civil servants that really should be back in the office and things like that. But nevertheless, and COVID, of course, accelerated all of this. Technology has now changed. The workplace has now changed. And if we accept that, we should also accept that this opens up fantastic opportunities for people who, look, I genuinely do believe that many people that are on benefits would actually prefer to be gainfully employed, probably making more money, having a better lifestyle for themselves and their family, but have genuinely felt that they can't do it. And so here's an opportunity, and there's nothing wrong in saying. And as an example, and I'll just put this in there, it's not a brag or anything like this. So I've only just returned from San Francisco. San Francisco has completely changed. Downtown area is empty. Completely empty. There's a big, huge drugs and homeless problem. But what's happened is that now 30% of the offices in that hub, that fantastic international hub, are now empty. 150,000 office workers have left the city and now work from home. Wow. They work from different states if needs be. So there's no denying that this is a worldwide cultural shift and change, and we should be looking at it in a measured and responsible way, without screaming and shouting and frightening people and trying to use disability as a political weapon.
Indeed. And of course, saving money as well should not be a kind of dirty secret from governments. That is also what they are charged with, while balancing out, human beings' requirements and needs. I think we all understand that. But and naturally, if somebody is swinging the lead, you want to identify those people as well. I tell you where there is a lot of waste of money: Birmingham, which we understand. I didn't realise this, Ian. This is your home city, Birmingham. The council today, the leader, John Cotton, has said, "Don't worry, vital services will be protected throughout this course of, well, only one way to say it, bankruptcy."
Yes. I know, once again, political football, the government's fault. They've not given, central government haven't given enough money to councils. Well, of course, that's our money. The government doesn't own money. It's our money they have to give. Have they gone too far? There's been a lot of woke initiatives in Birmingham. As I say, I've got family and friends in the area, and they sort of roll their eyes at a number of things that are going on. But it's a massive city, the biggest local authority in Europe. And it opens up the whole question, I think, of have we got democracy right? Because local authorities, as we know, less than something like 20% of people actually vote in local elections. They're just disinterested.
Sure.
You get the whole thing where you hear, oh, well, nothing changes. I don't really bother. Well, of course, nothing will change because you don't get involved. You get the government, the local government, that you deserve if you don't get active in it. And also, we restrain those local governments by actually only giving them part responsibility. You can't really raise that much money. So therefore, it's income tax that we get from central government, which feeds money to them. I believe that if local authorities had to actually raise more of the money and our income tax was actually reduced, then our local politicians would be held more responsible.
Yep.
Then more people would go out to vote. And actually, instead of saying it's all their fault within this mess, it's kind of like, well, I voted you into power, so I'm going to vote you out again.
Indeed. Last one here. We've not got only about 30 seconds on this one, if that's OK, Ian. Rishi Sunak urged to appoint a minister for men. Do we need one?
Well, that again is would be a very brave thing, as certain politicians find it very difficult to describe actually what a woman is. Are they going to be able to describe what a man is with that? And I think you see now, with regard to television dramas, film dramas, everything is portrayed that it's strong woman. Women are in charge. Even adverts, if you've noticed, it used to be, men were explaining to women how to get their car insurance, etc. Now it's completely the other way around. The dumb klutz is actually the man. So if men, if women are so powerful and men are as weak fools that we now are, well, maybe we do need a minister to look after us.
Yeah. Perhaps that's, after all, we did need a kind of mollycoddling and a mummy figure in the form of the government.